what's up? Anyway, I haven't had any photo shoots recently because you know the state of the world is not safe for that right now. It is, okay. Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello. My name is Elise and I'm a photographer. Thanks for clicking on this video. If you're not new here, you know me, you know my face. How are you? So today's video is going to be a super simple, easy video. I'm just going to show you guys how I edit your photos. I put out a poll and a post on Instagram and YouTube for people to send me photos to edit. I got this idea obviously because it's like a trend that I've seen a lot of people do, and it's quarantine, social distancing. I have not done any photo shoots in a long time, so I haven't had any really new photos to edit. So I thought, why not go and edit you guys' photos and see what I can do. It was fun. I thank you guys all who sent me the photos. I appreciated it because it was something cool and different that I've never done before. I've never edited anybody else's photos before. I've always just edited my own, so it was really interesting to see everybody else's photos and have my own take on it. So yeah, that's what this video is all about. Nothing fancy. So if you guys want to see that, then just keep watching. Okay, I hope screen recording and audio recording can go on simultaneously. So let's get into editing these photos. So I'm going to just import them into my Lightroom. I have them on a hard drive. So I'm gonna find that hard drive and import. And these are all the photos, and I already renamed them before I imported them, but that doesn't really matter because you can always rename. Okay, now that we have everything in Lightroom, we get to do the fun stuff, which is editing. So let's just pick this one. This first one is by Phoenix. Shout out to you, Phoenix, because I always see you commenting and liking on my videos. Shout out. So yeah, so we have this image. I really like this image. I love the detail in the background, and I don't even know what kind of plant that is, but you can see the landscape in the back end. It's beautiful. So my way of how I edit, usually I just throw on presets. As you can see, I have 1,012 presets, but for the purpose of this video, obviously you guys want to see how I edit, so I'm just gonna actually edit this by hand, so you are welcome. So what I like to do at first is I actually like to click over here on the adjustments bars, whatever you want to call them. Disclaimer, first of all, I am in no way a skilled editor. Everything I learned from photography to editing, I've taught myself. So if there's a better way to do something, if I'm doing something incorrectly, if I'm not explaining something the right way, that's why. Don't come for my neck. I'm just doing me the way I know how to do it. So anyway, as we were saying, editing, I always like to press auto just because I like to see how the computer, AI, whatever, would edit it first. And as you can see, that's actually like not bad, but that's just what I like to do first, and I like to adjust from there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's usually my baseline. I learned this back at my internship just because it automatically corrects for things you're probably going to adjust anyway, like, you know, increasing the exposure, lifting the shadows, things I always already do. But I won't do that for every photo. I just did that for the first one so that you guys can kind of see one way I like to do things. So the first thing I always like to do is that, and then always make sure the white balance is correct. And so you're just gonna adjust the right balance. I like to make things a bit cooler, especially when it's someone of a darker skin tone, because sometimes when you make things warmer, it makes things oranger, and we do not want that, but that can always be adjusted. So anyway, one thing I always like to do to my photos is add clarity. I don't know why, I just like to add clarity. I like that extra punch. Yeah, we're gonna decrease the highlights a little bit so we can get some of that color in the sky. Yeah, let's keep the shadows lifted. And as you can see, I'm literally just going back into the settings that the computer already did automatically, and just adjusting them a little bit on my own. So there's this, and I don't know, I feel like I want to expand this background a lot because it's beautiful setting, and I feel like with the crop I did, we lost some of that because we lost the bottom. I don't know, I feel like the image is a little unbalanced, so let's just do this. So I'm going up to the top and going File, Edit in, and Photoshop. Okay, so now that we have this in Photoshop, I'm going to work on extending this background. And I've done this before. I think I even have a video on how to extend backgrounds, so I'll link that and make that little pop up, but we're just gonna do it again. And there's actually a new way to do this now. My old way is kind of outdated, so I guess it's even better that we're doing it this way. So I always like to make my background layer a new layer and then duplicate it. Oops. So after we have the duplicate layer, I just duplicate layers because if I ever mess up, I want to be able to go back to the original. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is extend your background or your canvas size. So we go to Image, Canvas Size, and you basically just make it whatever size you want. I always try to make it bigger than I want it to be because I'm going to crop it again whenever I put it back into Lightroom. So for now, let's make the width 4,000, and then do we even want to do the height? I don't think I want to do the height. I think I just want to make it wider. So yeah, we'll do that. And actually, I want it even wider than that. So we're gonna go back. That's better. Okay, so the new way I learned how to do this is you select the part you want to fill in. So you're gonna go to Image, you can go to Edit, Content Aware Fill. And this is basically just going to populate, information for it to get the background from, if that makes sense. I don't know a better way to explain how the computer works, but as you can see at the bottom here, it's loading, so it's trying to take the information from this broader image and replace it into this selected image enough so that it looks like natural. And as you can see, they did a pretty good job. There's still like some inconsistencies, but we can always adjust that afterwards. Save, and because I imported it from my Lightroom into Photoshop, it's gonna automatically populate the updated version in Lightroom like that. So this was the before. All right, so that one's done. Thank you, Phoenix, again. That was a long one, guys. It won't be as long on the other ones, I promise. So here we go. We have this next one from Anne Marie, and this is a portrait, so we'll probably do more retouching on this one. But again, we're gonna do as we did last time, press auto, see what camera, internet, computer, whatever the word is, AI, decided. And we're gonna just do the same steps we did. Add that contrast and just adjust as needed. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of adding a little bit of contrast here. Add a little bit of clarity back. And yep, that's it. And if you want to see before and after, you do it like this. Alright, switching gears into the next photo. We are now going to take this photo into Photoshop because it's a close-up portrait and it only makes sense to take it into Photoshop to do some retouching. So we're going to go into Photoshop and start retouching this photo. And as you probably saw in the last photo, I did a lot more intense of a job on retouching. But for this one, I believe I'm probably just going to run the Photoshop action that I have just to make it really easy. And for the sake of this video, because it's not a tutorial, we're just gonna do it the super easy way, and that's using an action. This is a free Photoshop action that I found online by literally just Googling Photoshop retouching action free. So there's so many out there. Find one that you like, make sure it's from a reputable source, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And so after the action plays, I'm going to start using the all of the healing cloning tools. So right now I'm using the patch tool, just dragging basically the part that I select to a clear layer of skin or a layer of skin that I want to be like the baseline. Because what I've learned with the patch tool is that it will bring the texture with it, whatever you are, I guess, cleaning up. And we will fast forward through a lot of this retouching again because it's not a tutorial. So we're going to go through the retouching. And now that we have this retouching done, and if you notice at the end of my retouching, I added some, sharpening, some dodge and burn just to make the photo pop a little bit more. But even right now, without even any color correction, I think this photo looks really, really good. Here's a little quick before and after. Now we're going to go into color correction. And again, I just hit that auto button just to see what what Lightroom would suggest. And then I just go around and play with all of the little sliders until I find something that I like. And that's really it. And there you have it, your before and after. On to the next photo. So I really love this photo. Like, I think the setup of this photo is super cool. Very editorial-esque to me. So I don't want to do too much editing to this photo because I don't know, I just feel like it's pretty sick on its own. We're just going to do some very simple adjustments because I want to really want to bring those clouds back into focus, like bringing the detail back in there, adjusting some of the greens and like some of the underlying tones of this image, because I think it's a very simple image that doesn't need much done to it. I really wanted to play with the greens because it's a lot of the greens takes over a lot of the image, and I kind of wanted to tone it down a little bit so it's not super vibrant green. It's kind of a more tonal green. So I play again with the tone curve on that, and that's the best way I think to really get a good hold of your specific colors in the curve and really have the most impact on them. And then we go to the HSL sliders, of course, and just mess around and see what works, see what doesn't work, and then that's it. Very simple edit. on to the next photo. So I think this photo is super, super cool. Obviously it's not a person, but I think that's even makes it even more fun because you can like kind of do whatever you want with it. It's like more creative freedom here. And I've never edited a photo of like a doll before, so I think that's totally cool and awesome. And I don't know, this setup, like she's in like, you know, like a blue background, but like that light that's reflected on her, she looks like she's kind of like out in the sun, like very summery Barbie vibes, you know what I'm saying? So we really want to, this one's going to be probably a bit more vibrant compared to the other ones. We've been doing a lot more moody edits. This one's going to be kind of more of a pop in your face kind of edit, I think. Not too crazy, but enough for you to be like, bam, what? Yeah, and we're gonna mess around with the colors because, again, it's just, why not? You have the opportunity to mess around with a little bit, you know, have a little bit of fun. And that's what we could do. On to the next one. Yes, selfie. Thank you for sending me a selfie. I wanted to edit a selfie so bad. I'm not gonna probably retouch this one just because that sunlight is hitting your skin so good. We don't need to retouch nothing. But we're just gonna do some very light edits. You know, adjust the you know, highlights and exposure. Bring that clarity all the way up like I like to. Mess with the curve just a tiny bit, but like not that much. And then kind of just play with the colors. Most likely you're going to be playing a lot with the blues because that's what takes up a lot of the image and that's what's drawing a lot of the attention. Trying to stay away from the reds and the yellows because that's the skin tone and we don't want to mess with that way too much because we can really get it to start looking unnatural and we don't want that. I really have this idea that I kind of want to fill in that little part underneath the elbow into the blue sky so it looks like it's completely all blue sky. And I did this in the very lazy way of taking this and editing this in Lightroom instead of doing it in Photoshop the correct way because I'm lazy. And you saw I opened Photoshop so many times already that I didn't feel like doing that again. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Just clone stamping to adjust and make it look like the sky is just the backdrop. There's no distractions and it like brings focus to the subject. And because it's a selfie, I think it's okay to just do it in Lightroom like it's a selfie. It's not like it's an editorial print, so I definitely need to bring into Photoshop. Yes, I'm justifying my laziness. I really wanted to get that really sun-kissed glow look, but also get some good tones in there to make it feel like a little bit more of like a dramatic editorial photo. Because why not? You want your selfies to look dramatic and amazing, so that's exactly what we're doing. And that's it. So now we're going on to a flower photo, which makes me so happy because this is so cute and I love flowers. So doing the basic things that we usually do, but for this one I wanted to play with like the adjustment brushes in Lightroom. You can add a color to your adjustment brush that kind of gives you like an oversweeping like light overlay of colors, and of course you can also do this in Photoshop, but again doing it in Lightroom. So yeah, I just kind of brushed a very light pink over the photo. It adds a pop of pink and it also kind of lightens the photo a little bit more than, you know, increasing the exposure or increasing the saturation would do. So that's what I did. And I wanted this to be like a very like bright, vibrant photo as well because like the flowers are beautiful. We want to feel like springtime, you know, so I wanted to bring out as much of that pink as I could without making the whole entire photo extremely vibrant and too much. And then we're going to adjust the greens and the blues a little bit just to give it like that little tonal punch. And there you have it. That's it. Those are my photos. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is me editing your photos. Thank you all again for sending me all of your photos to edit. I had a lot of fun. Sorry this video was slightly delayed. There was over 2 hours of footage that I actually recorded, so it took a while to narrow it all down and just give you guys the good content and not just too much content. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see more videos, comment down below what you guys want to see from me. But other than that, I thank you guys for following along with this video, and I talk to you guys soon. Bye!